My name is Rosemary Hinojosa, and I live in this neighborhood of Keithwood, Brettonwoods.
Can you describe the neighborhood?
It's a very nice neighborhood, picturesque, a lot of trees. I love the trees and the greenery. Families and community is pretty close. We have close neighbors. In fact, two of my neighbors are inside right now. People here seem to, say hello. They watch out for each other. They're just down-home type of folks. Folks that grew up, knowing that a good neighbor is one that is a good neighbor to anyone. Although when I first moved here, it was a little awkward, you might say. We moved here in 1977. That's almost 40 years ago, and we were the first, what was back then considered a minority in my little circle. And so it was a little awkward, to be honest. But we've loved it ever since, and I never would move from there unless I have to be forced to move.
What do you think the biggest strength of the neighborhood is?
I think that people, again, watch out for each other. They care for each other. They know each other. It's kind of like not as much community as where I came from when I was growing up, where you really knew your next door neighbors and the neighbors down almost every street. But it's at least your surrounding neighbors, to the right, to the left of you. And in my case, it's in our circle. We know every neighbor.
Okay. Where were you from? Where did you grow up?
I grew up in West Dallas.
If you could change something about it to make it better, what would you change?
Probably I would like to see maybe some of the yards more cleaned up, some of the streets without potholes like we've had, and definitely get rid of all the stray dogs and loose dogs. Many of them aren't stray, they're just loose because of irresponsible owners. Those are probably my three concerns, and maybe even improve the schools. Some of the schools are very good, but there's always room for improvement, parental involvement, and so forth.
If there was one thing you could tell them, anybody that had never been there, about the neighborhood to give them a good idea of what it was like, what would you say?
I would say that it's a very home-like atmosphere, environment, very friendly. Neighbors watch out for each other, very neighborly.